medical side of it. No aircraft, no planes. I don't own them. I'm not even sure I could fly them if I had to.
All right. We always make fun of you.
Yeah, well, it's all in good fun. But you are the man with all the answers when it comes to helping us avoid the flu.
Hopefully.
Right? What do we need to know?
Well, it's pretty difficult to avoid the flu, actually, because, I mean, you can get it just from talking. I mean, I could be giving it to you right now and you wouldn't even know it. But, you know, if someone sneezes or coughs on you, that actually is how the virus is transmitted. Get back here. That's how the virus is transmitted. So it's pretty, actually, it's difficult to actually avoid the flu.
Okay. They always say wash your hands.
Right.
And stuff like that, but isn't it true, I've heard that you should avoid touching your nose or your eyes?
Absolutely. I mean, if you shake somebody's hand who has the flu, just sneeze in their hand and put it around your nose, eyes, or mouth.
You're still okay if it's just on your hand, right? It's when you touch your nose or your eyes.
Right. If it gets into a mucous membrane, that's how you get infected with it, and it makes you sick.
What was I going to say? What about even if you had a flu shot? That really doesn't work, does it?
Well, actually, the flu shots work as long as the flu shot was a strain of the flu that we're getting this year. And typically, it's pretty good. We haven't had a lot of flu this year. I think we've had, I know, a couple cases last month, but it wasn't the epidemic sort of amount that we had in the last year and the year before that.
Well, that's good.
So far, so good.
So because I got a flu shot, I mean, I've just had a runny nose and throat for a couple days. That's not really the flu.
No, typically a cold. The flu is actually, it infects your lung passages. People feel absolutely miserable. They have high temps up to 104 and muscle aches, and they're usually sick for about 2 weeks. You know,
I called in sick for nothing. As it turns out.
I'll give you that note later.
All right, well, let's talk about, for folks out there who may be suffering with the flu, what do they need to know? At what point do you go to the emergency room?
Well, I mean, the best part is if you have a temperature, you need to take Tylenol. You want to avoid aspirin. Advil works, but definitely avoid.
Why?
Well, it's linked with Reye syndrome. Influenza virus plus aspirin definitely has been linked to Reye syndrome, which can be a potentially fatal thing, especially for kids. So, you know, what most physicians will tell you is if you've had it for a day or so, stay in bed, drink lots of fluids, take Tylenol. But if you feel the symptoms just coming on, there's actually some medications you can take now called antivirals that work pretty well, and they shorten the course. Amantadine is one, Romantadine is another one. Those are both in the pill form, and there's actually an inhaled version of those as well now.
Now, those are antivirals versus antibiotics.
Exactly.
There's a big difference, right?
Huge difference. And if you go to your physician can get you in, an urgent care, an emergency department, the key is that you need to start them within about 24 hours of the symptom.
Those are hard to find, though, aren't they? And doctors hate to write prescriptions for those, right?
I think most physicians will tend to put you on antibiotics if you start coughing up things and everything.
But they don't like the antivirals, because I called my doctor about that. They go, we don't know anything about that.
They're relatively, I guess, new in some respects. But, you know, if you walk in and you have very classic flu symptoms, I think most physicians will put you on an antiviral. And they do work. They do shorten the course of it.
Does all the stuff at home, like when your mom used to put mentholatum, Vicks 44, what was it, Vicks? What is it, Vicks or
Vicks Vapor Rub,
on your nose and your chest, and
I still don't have any chest hair from that darn thing.
Burns it right off, doesn't it?
Right off.
But see, the humidifier is good for young children.
Yeah, absolutely. It keeps their nasal mucosa nice and moist. And in the Vicks Vapor Rub, it does the same thing. Kind of opens up your nasal passage.
It does.
It does feel good.
Remember, you know what my mom used to do? I'm sure your mom, this is a generation. They give you like a shot of whiskey. Remember that? With honey? Come on, your mom did it too. It was a generation thing. Remember that?
I never had the shot of whiskey.
My mom
doing whiskey
would
shots
take like a whiskey glass, like a shot glass, and do like half whiskey, half honey. Here, have this, kid. Seriously, I thought all moms did that.
You people in the South.
We don't do it anymore. My mom wanted to do that for Kate. I'm like, we don't do that anymore, Mom.
Yeah.
My mom's moving to town, by the way.
Thank you very much.
She's available to babysit, you know, anytime.
With the whiskey.
She can babysit me.